Hi, everybody. Oh, that's so nice. Thank you. Welcome. It's sure good to be back here at Media Day. Obviously, we couldn't do it last year, but very happy to be able to do this again. And very thankful to AEA for hosting us, as they do so well each time we do this, each season of the year. So thanks, Pat, Michael, and Michael, your whole crew here. They do all of this, fellas, the food, the drinks, obviously setting up and hosting us, so we're greatly appreciative of that. Want to thank to the media here today. We have Joe Dunn, Michael Bevan, I saw you there, as well as Peter from APS, and we're thankful for your coverage as well. We're looking forward to the fall sports season. Literally kicking off here very soon, so that'll be cool. I want to thank the players and coaches too. I know you've worked through the summer to get ready for this. You've worked up an appetite. We hope we have a lot of food here for you to enjoy, and you're why we're here, for all the work you do in anticipation of playing a sport you all love. Obviously you enjoy it. You wouldn't put in all that work to do it, because we know sometimes it's not easy. But the payoff is tremendous in many ways. So thank you guys for your work as senior leaders and for being here today with your coaches. And I want to introduce Pat here to say a few words as well. Pat Shipe, the president of AEA.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. Oh, I did it too. Welcome. AEA has been hosting the Akron Education Association, which for those of you that don't know, we represent teachers and all licensed personnel. We have about 2,400 members, all the teachers that work for Akron Public Schools. I want to welcome you. We did miss last year, but we're glad you're here. It's been a bit of a year for everybody, but I'm sure you're all ready to get back on the field. And I always remind our athletes that come up here, as well as the coaches, you know, you're not only leaders on the field, you're leaders with your peers and leaders in your building. And we appreciate everything you do, and you should be proud of yourselves for all the hard work you put in. So thank you very much. Glad you could make it. And I'd like to introduce now the new Akron Public Schools Superintendent, Madam Fowler-Mack.
Good. So good afternoon to each of you, and thank you to President Shipe and to Michael and to Commissioner Vassalotti for all that you do on behalf of these student athletes. I'm really excited to be here because you're like one of the first group of students that represent the entire district that I've gotten a chance to meet and greet. And I love that you're all in the room together representing our entire district as seniors, so that many of you, I think most all of you are seniors, so that you are the leaders of our district. I'm wishing you well in this season that is upcoming. Hopefully the healthcare trends and everything is going to cooperate so that it's, you know, no barriers to you having a really great experience on the field. We talked about you being leaders in your schools, leaders on the field. I also want to really challenge you to be leaders in the classroom as well. So being a student athlete is really, really critical to your success, you know, because hopefully what you're doing right now is preparing you for many options for years to come. We thank our coaches for being here. We know that you put in blood, sweat, tears, many hours. I was a high school coach at Buchtel High for the girls basketball program, so I know how you really take in the students into your lives, you know, fully. So thank you for supporting them on the field and as a mentor in their life. I know I'm between you and the food, so bon appetit, I think, yeah.
I did want to mention thank you to the media for being here. It's really wonderful that you can do this during the year for the sports. And I also wanted to add, and I'm sure Christine did also, that you're leaders in your community too.
Absolutely.
And it's very important, particularly at Akron Public Schools, that our community involvement with all of our schools is so great and continues to grow.
Ron Linger's my name. I work with Mr. Vassalotti in the athletic office as the assistant to Mr. Vassalotti, so it's great to see all you folks. I think it was here several years ago I made my debut with my reading glasses, first public time. They say, where are they at now, Coach? I said, well, I've learned some computer tricks. So now I go with the big print. I go with the big print now. I don't have to wear the glasses.
Can I borrow it?
Yeah. Good East Side trick, Coach. Well, we're happy to have everybody back today, and welcome to all of our media people here today. Our good friends Michael Bevan and Joe Dunn. Peter from APS 15 is always here to do a fabulous job for us. And we're happy to have everybody back in somewhat of a normal school year, we hope. We'll just keep our fingers crossed. I have one quick story concerning East football. Being an East grad, I had contact with a gentleman who graduated from East in 1970. His name was Jim Schaefer, who informed me that this is indeed the 100th year of East football, which didn't really add up to me, but he had all the proof, all the information to back it up. So, Coach Hayes, this is our 100th year of football for East, even though in 1921, it was only a 9th grade team. Shortly thereafter, I believe it was in 1924, the first full team occurred for East. And way back then, they had a home-and-home series with the Massillon Tigers. During a 7-year period, East was 4-2-1 against Massillon. And that all came to an end in 1932 when a guy named Paul Brown took over at Massillon. And that series came to an end. But just a little bit of East history for you. And I want to also congratulate Coach Hayes, who is now the 3rd winningest coach in East history. So congratulations to you, Coach. And without further ado, we'll get things started here with Mr. Vassilotti, who'll be back to talk to you for a second or two, probably not about East High history like I just did, but with some other important things. Coach?
Thank you, Coach Linger. I'm gonna try to get by without my reading glasses. I'm gonna try to go by memory here if I can and not refer to my notes, which by the way I lost earlier anyway and had to rewrite them, so I think I'll be okay. Contrary to what you might be thinking, Coach Linger was not a part of that 1921 squad at East. His years came just a few after that. I do respect my elders. And on a personal note, I do want to thank Mr. Linger and Sherry Basinger, who helped so much in the athletic office to organize events like this. Sherry, with the help of the coaches, put together the program with all your names and school schedules on it and so forth. Deeply appreciate them and the help they give me personally in the athletic office. Was thinking about football as I do a lot this time of year. I added up the years, I spent 36 years in the sport as either a player or a coach. So it's always got a soft spot in my heart. And I thought about the Hall of Fame event coming up, and if you've ever watched the induction speeches, which sometimes can be a little lengthy, I know, but I watch a few of them, and inevitably the inductees at the highest level of football, right, Pro Football Hall of Fame, they don't talk a lot about their playing days necessarily on the field, but they talk a lot about experiences they had and relationships they had with teammates. In addition, of course, thanking their families and loved ones, but they talk a lot about the relationships with their players and coaches, and I think that's something that made me think a bit. I was at an event last week in Talmadge for a former player of mine who, and I'd never been to an engagement party before, but it was an engagement party. I've been to a lot of weddings. I've never been to an engagement party. But anyway, they're getting married out of town. They want to have an engagement party, around here in Ohio. And anyway, a bunch of players, and those guys graduated in like 05, 04 in that range. So it's been a few years. They're all in their 30s now. But they were talking about our football days together, but they were talking more about off the field things than really whatever we did on the field. They made fun of me for eating my apple every day during warm-ups when they're in their flex lines. Well, that was my thing. I had to have an apple. Checking out the flex lines, making sure they're stretching, Devin, getting loose. How I get a little upset in the weight room if they left their weight room papers scattered around and things weren't tidy. But, those days are special, the relationships you build. So savor those, especially because you're all seniors here, correct? Yeah, this is it. And hopefully, as Mr. Linger said earlier, it's a lot closer to normal this year. We all hope for that. We all hope for a full 10-game schedule and playoff games after that. So, enough from me. We'll have our coaches speak, and when they speak, they'll, of course, bring the players up with them. Players, we won't make you speak today. But the coaches will say a few words about the season coming up. And we always kind of debate which order to proceed, whether it's alphabetical, reverse alphabetical, whatever. But this year we'll go by seniority of coaches. So our head coach with the most seniority as a head football coach in the Akron City Series is Coach Hayes, entering year 10. Correct, Coach?
Yes.
Entering year 10 at East. Done a great job there, as you heard some details earlier. So, Coach, you get to be our leadoff hitter. Come on up.
Well, first off, I just want to thank Mr. Vassalotti and Mr. Linger for setting this up, and also for us to have the AEA for putting this on again, and obviously to get an opportunity to meet the new superintendent is fantastic. I think the first thing I want to talk about, though, is not only our team, but the young man that we brought with us today. On my left, we have senior Eric Holly. Eric Holly currently is a full qualifier in the University of Akron, commit to play football, and also get his opportunity to be supported to play basketball while he's there also. Eric took the challenge of coming out last year during that COVID season after not having a lot of off-season work in football because there was a lot of basketball things going on. And I remember having a conversation with him and talking to him, and I asked him, I said, hey, we lost a lot of seniors. What do you think about coming out and quarterbacking the Dragons this year? He said, Coach, I'll be there tomorrow for my equipment. I said, by the way, we got a game in 5 days. And, he took the mantle and came out and did what would you expect any athlete to do. Just come out there and be an athlete, have character, be the best that you can be out there, and, let the chips fall where they fall. On my right, I have Navion Stedman, which, I tell him I've known his father before he was even born. His father used to cut my hair back when I first got to the University of Akron when his dad was in the barber college. I've known his family for a long time. He came up through East football, the youth leagues, all the way through playing for our middle school team. He ended up going to St. Vincent St. Mary to start his first few years of high school, and then he ended up. I got that call that said his dad said he was bringing him back to finish up as a Dragon, which I thought was fantastic. But when I think about Navy, I just think about silent leadership, because I'm probably only going to get about 15 to 20 words out of him this year. But his actions, by far, speak much louder than any words that he could ever say. So, and that's what I respect about him, though, because he comes out there with his hard hat on every single day. Yes, coach. No, coach. And he just gets after it. So I know these guys are, and I only ask players for one thing. And I said, we don't ask a lot from them, obviously to give 110% in everything that you're doing. But we say when you leave the program, just leave a legacy. What's your legacy going to be when you leave out? I need those guys that are, a couple of years behind you to be able to say, hey, man, I saw that number 7 Navy working yesterday, man. I want to be just like that. Instead of them looking at somebody else and saying that, it could be the opposite way. But we're excited for this season. Last year, we were excited just to get those games in that we did play. We ended up losing some players last year. We kind of called it the gift and the curse, though, because what we were able to do, though, we played a lot of our young guys. So we got still a very young team, but it's a young, experienced team, I would say. We don't know exactly how good we're going to be just yet, but I think just like everybody in this room, everybody's going out there every day at practice to see how well they can get. I think we got a tough non-league schedule to start off the bat, those 5 teams that we play. So we'll be able to find out exactly who we are. We got a couple of really tough scrimmages. But I think so far we've had a really good summer. We've probably had the best numbers out in the past couple of years. So we're sitting around maybe about 65 guys, which is pretty good number for us. Just super excited about getting back to some normalcy out there on the football field, and like I said, with some lessened restrictions and things like that. Wish everybody in here the best of luck. Go get everybody that you play. Hope you guys are still having a fantastic summer. Have a fantastic camp too. We're going to work as hard as we can. And like I said, when we meet you guys, we'll just let the chips fall where they fall. Appreciate everybody here.
And next, entering year 7 as a head coach at Firestone, Coach Mitchell and his 2 players.
Good afternoon, everybody. Once again, it's good to be here representing Firestone, representing Akron City Series football, and representing young men in our community. I have with me today 2 all-league players that are back for their senior campaign. To my left, Xavion Green, plays corner and wide receiver for us. And to my right, Corden Williams plays offensive line and defensive line for us. Just like everybody else, we've had a productive summer. Been going at it day in and day out, hard, trying to get better, so we can, represent Akron City Series football. But I'm going to take a little different turn. My guys, our team, and I'm sure everybody else in this room, I'm really concerned about our young men in our community and the violence that's going on around us. And I know North lost a player not too long ago. I know East lost a former player last year. And it's our young men in our community destroying each other. And we preach every day at Firestone to become better citizens in our community. That's first and foremost. Wins and losses, they come and they go. Of course, we want to win like everybody else. But at the end of the day, I want my guys to survive. And it's up to you all, everybody in this room. You know somebody, or you know somebody who knows somebody who's been touched by the violence that's going on in Akron, Ohio. You all can make a difference. All you have to do is speak it into existence. Don't stand by silently any longer. Represent you, represent your family, represent your community. And you never know. It might be the next person who's looking up to you that you might save. That's been heavy on my heart. I just wanted the people in this room to know it. I care about each and every one of you as an individual, as a team, and as a community. But moving forward, as Coach Hayes has said, when we come to play, we're going to come and play. We're going to be respectful. We're going to play hard. You're going to know that you've been in a battle when you play Firestone. And at the end of the day, somebody's got to win and somebody's got to lose. But as long as we're all going home, I'm at peace. Thank you.
Thank you, Coach Mitchell. Very timely words. We appreciate that. Next, and also entering year 7 is Coach Boyd, who can't be with us today, but he's entering his 7th year as a head coach with us in APS. In his absence, Coach Bradford's here with a couple seniors from Kenmore-Garfield. So, Coach, come on up.
Good afternoon, Coach Elliot Bradford, the defensive coordinator for Kenmore-Garfield High School. Special thanks to the Akron Athletic Department and Akron AEA for putting this event on, trying to get back to the, to some normalcy of playing some football. I'm filling in for Coach Boyd today, so he has some other obligations, so I'm filling in for him. Of course, I'm not sitting up here by myself. Got two of our standout players for this year, 2 seniors. Ronald Belfield plays safety for us. Came on towards the end of last season, man. I'm expecting him to have a pretty good season this year for us in the secondary, along with some other returning starters we got coming back. Douglas Rush, 3-year letterman for us, plays offensive line, defensive line. Again, expecting these guys to be some of our senior leaders for us this year. We'll bring these 2 guys up, man. It's you have a lot of guys that, some folks talk, some folks have their actions. Some of these 2 guys just work, man. They don't say very much, but they are the guys that you kind of build your program on as far as being very coachable. You're not having to worry about them talking back or disrupting your practices, or your younger guys picking up negative stuff from them, and that's a blessing for us to have, as being a young team coming into this year. Pretty much, I'm pretty much a man of what Coach Mitchell said. We're just trying to get back to some normalcy, and also trying to create an environment for these players to be in and feel family oriented. So in addition to what Coach Mitchell said, we had a couple of kids last year that were involved in some off-field stuff where 2 of our players got shot. So it kind of hits home where Coach Mitchell mentioned, we just want these guys to thrive and survive. It's bigger than this football stuff out there. I ain't out in the streets like, some are. We have some guys, you half in, half out. And, some guys think, that stuff won't happen to them up until it does. And I'm not saying that they, bad, good or bad otherwise, but if you're out there, things can happen to you. And you got to be cognizant of that, especially you guys that are striving to go on to do bigger and better things. There are people out there that will smile in your face, but they wishing for your downfall. So you have to be very careful of the decisions you make, the people you hang around. You have to, because you'll never know who's out for you or what's coming for you out here. As far as our season coming up, man, we're just excited to try to have a full season. Plain and simple. We've been working hard, doing our T-shirt season, 7-on-7. Time for that to be done. So it's just time for us to get to work, man, to try to get this championship. Best of luck to everybody out here. Hopefully everybody stays injury-free. Let's get to it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Coach Bradford. We appreciate you being here today with your players. Year 5 coming up for Coach Haslam at North, making great strides on North Hill, making use of that weight room, I know. And, we look forward to you guys week 1 down at Canton South showing you mean business this year. So, Coach, come on up.
So, I didn't know how I was going to come at this at the beginning. So, I brought 3 guys, you know what I mean? And they know who that third guy is, you know? So, when something happens like this, you know, your perspective of importance changes, you know? And sometimes you got to come closer together, you know? And these guys, you know, Poe and Chris Simmons, I think they had the most invested in Kanye. You know, and he went to school with him most of his life, and I think, you know, he's not gonna come through the door, he's not gonna come into the locker room, and those are the things that are most painful, because as coaches, we wear so many hats. You know, we do so many things, and we can't. And I was talking to Vass about this morning. You know, the time that we have to make the most of with our guys, and we got to constantly tell them about the decisions that they make in order to be successful. And when the path is blurry, because, you know, our guys, I mean, nobody's perfect. It's tough for a coach to say what you should not do, or what you should not say, or who you shouldn't hang out with. And my idea is just saying, being able to give these guys model behavior, what men do on a day in, day out basis. They come on time, they do what they need to do, they're respectful, and then at the end of the day, they reciprocate those feelings for each other, and it ain't nothing bad about that. So, and to move on and to talk about the season, around this time last year, we was at 10 North Main on the corner, and guys that were down there understood that, walking up and down trying to get the season reinstated. It was taken away from us, and and now we're at that point where the days that I have with them are the best. And I think I come in on like 10,000, and I'm yelling and screaming, but they understand what it is. They understand. They know that I care about them, and we got to take every time we get out on the field, we got to get 1% better. And the half a second of the finals that I did watch, and it was only like a commercial part, Monty Williams, the coach of the Suns, talked about what part of hard do you want to be on? You know, do you want to be on this side or you want to be on that side? And that's kind of the mantra we've taken on, is saying, okay, hard is the front side of hard is just, you know what, I'm not going to do it. I'm a halfway come to practice. The other side of hard is everything that you want success-wise. And I'm not talking about football and championships or anything like that. I'm talking about everything that you envision yourself as is on the other side of it. And we just talk about trying to get on that other side. Come to practice every day, get the most field leadership for our guys. And we're not worried about anybody else but August 20th. We get in the bus, we play Kansas South. They're going to get the best North team they can imagine for 48 minutes. Good luck to everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, Coach Haslam. Next, from Ellet's Coach Schumann, also entering year 5, correct, Coach? If I'm doing the math right, or did I not? All right, sounds good. So Coach Schumann from Ellet's.
My readers are disguised under my shirt. First of all, thank you to the AEA. Joe and Ron, thank you for having our back. That's a big deal. We know that when we call on you or give need any advice, that you're only a phone call away, and you don't hesitate. We appreciate that. And thank you to the City Series coaches. It's a pleasure to play the programs that you put together. I grew up as a City Series player. I have pride in it, and I think all the coaches here have the same proudness about them. We know that you're going to play a city team that, number one, they're going to be tough. Number two, they're going to be well coached. And number three, it's going to be a pleasure to play them and then shake hands with them after the ball game. So, coaches, we appreciate what you give to us. When I think about the 2021 season, the first thing that comes to mind is I have a newfound respect for routine. Routine is so important when you want to fall into a rhythm. And sports, as you know, if you get into a rhythm, things are going well, things are going to go well for you. And last year, going day to day, the routine just wasn't there. And I didn't realize how much it affected me as I coached football, and I also coach softball. But it's a pleasure to be able to know that you're going to wake up tomorrow and football is going to be there, and the next day it'll be there, so you can plan a routine. But it's important to us. I brought with me two multi-sport athletes. Both of them played on the city championship baseball team at Ellet, and both will be 48-minute players for us. On my left is Trenton Fink. He'll be a receiver and a defensive back, linebacker for us. And on my right is Devin Huey, who will also be a receiver and defensive back. Both outstanding athletes, and both have their own leadership skills, and how important that is for us. Kids look up to both of them. And one of our mottos at Ellet is to have every man there every day. And these two exemplify that they're there on the field, they're there at practice, they give the effort that kids can look up to, and all the coaches spoke to that. As far as our football team, we're excited about them. We're not going to be real large in numbers. I think we're in about the mid-50s. But the guys that have been there, that's shown a lot of enthusiasm, and we're excited about some newcomers that are going to add to us, and the challenging schedule for us in the outside the city games that will hopefully prepare us for the city teams as we get ready to play them. We do have some positions to fill. We're probably returning 4 solid starters on offense and about the same on defense, but the guys that are coming up, we're real excited about. I think we're going to be about as big up front defensively as we've been in the past. And so hopefully injury-free to all of us, injury-free to our team also, that we'll have a successful year. And success is measured, as you have mentioned before, not by winning or losing, but getting better the next day. We try to keep things simple, and hopefully that as they walk off the field today, they were better than they were yesterday. But good luck to all of you. Hope you stay healthy, and looking forward to stepping on the field with you. Thank you. Did I say your names?
We appreciate those words, Coach Schumann. And finally, we want to welcome Coach Brian Williams into his first year at his alma mater at Buchtel. Excited about Coach taking over. He's gotten busy, as these two guys will attest, this summer with a lot of good work over there on Copley Road. So, Coach Williams, the podium is yours.
Good afternoon, everybody. Last night, it was crazy to think how adversity strikes at any moment. It could be with family, it could be with football, just in life in general. So last night, I'm a new guy, right? So I'm writing notes in my iPad on what should I say. Should say this, no, I erase that. Should say that, no, I erase this. Then I get a text message. One of the young guys that at the time, played on the Buchtel football team, just got killed. I erased everything out of my iPad that I wrote. I said, man, I'm just gonna be myself. To all you guys' point about this community and the violence, it's a real thing. I've been in the community the last 8 years, and that's all I've seen. Myself, my community partners, and whoever else coming in to volunteer. It ain't just our players that it's happening to. It's who they're dealing with that's making it happen. And it's on us to make sure that it don't go through our locker room. It's a real thing. I see it every day. 4 months ago, 6 months ago, I was with a whole different program as the strength and conditioning coordinator. So last year, that makeup, it was just all about making sure that our kids can come back into the building safe. Navy was a part of that. He seen it. And a lot of other guys was a part of that too, but was dealing with the same things that we're seeing now. That young guy that got murdered last night, I was super close to. Trained the kid, fed the kid, clothed the kid. That's why we were late today. I'm dealing with all types of parents. I'm dealing with the school. It's a wildfire right now. And I'm pretty sure y'all know the kid as well. But to my point, it takes a village. Most of the kids don't have no guidance. Most of these kids don't have no direction. They're only going off what they see. This whole generation, I say it's a bunch of followers. No one wants to be leaders. They don't understand what a leader means. They want to keep everybody happy. Leaders don't keep everybody happy. If they want to keep everybody happy, I heard a quote Nick Saban say, "Go sell ice cream if you want to keep everybody happy." Leaders don't keep everybody happy. And that's what we're dealing with, a bunch of followers. That's why these things are happening in our community. 2 guys I brung today, Josiah McCann, wide receiver punter for us. Thomas Cherry, outside linebacker, halfback for us. Getting in here in May, I didn't know what it was going to look like. I didn't know how many kids I was going to have. I didn't know how it was going to work, especially with the mindset that I had, coming in with implementing the strength and conditioning program, implementing these outreach programs, implementing, getting these schedules together from JV down to middle school. But these 2 guys and the rest of the senior class, I wish I could have brought all of them, demonstrated everything I have asked for them. The incoming freshman class got about 29 to 30 kids that came in. I probably had 40 or 50 kids in the weight room in May. Separate, of course. But that's what we're gearing towards. I didn't know how it was going to look. I'm going to be honest with you guys. But these guys and their seniors and a few juniors and sophomores will those guys along. And that's where we're at right now. Our whole season, I just was talking to Coach Vass, and I want to thank him and Coach Linger, man, because everything I have asked of them, they have done for me. And I really appreciate that. But that's where we're at as a team. We're building every single day, but also learning, hey, the air got to lead a ball one day. What will be your second act when that happens? We're not just football coaches, we're life coaches. Some of these guys, man, gonna need us down the road. 5, 6 years down the road, hey, coach, man, I need a job. Hey, coach, I'm having family problems. Hey, coach, I need some financial information on to help me to help others. It's just a lot that goes into this, not just coaching. And that's what I have learned being here at 1040 the last 4 or 5 months. I appreciate all you guys. I'm learning all you guys just as well as you learning me. But one thing that I do want to do is connect with all you guys so we can flip our community back around. Because we're struggling. And yeah, that the main thing people say happens everywhere. So what? It's happening to our players every day. Big blessings to all you guys in y'all season. And like you guys said up here, when y'all see us, y'all gonna get a hard-nosed football game. Everybody know about 1040. Until the clock is hitting 000, that's when we gonna stop playing hard. Big blessings to all you guys. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks, Coach Williams. A lot of profound words today, many of which had little to do with football on the field. I know, speaking from Mr. Linger, we appreciate all that you coaches do with your young men. Yes, violence is real, it's out there, and it is nationwide, and it's a problem. And it was a problem before a month ago. But the fact is, in the last 4 to 5 weeks, we've lost 4 young men with connections to City Series football. And that's tough. It's very hard for the people close to them to handle. You know, it's hard for us in working with athletics to process that. So I can only imagine what, you know, you coaches and teammates go through in a situation like that. And a lot of comments say from the coaches were right on as far as you guys being leaders. I mean, that's why you're here. That's why your coaches chose you to be here. And a lot of times it's not easy to be a leader and to tell someone, no, I don't want to hang out with you. No, I don't want to do that. I want to run the streets tonight. Or to persuade your teammates not to do that. But we need young men who do that. We need it desperately. So I applaud you guys for being here, earning this honor, and I know you'll take that very seriously into your season. And you know, we obviously are rooting for each other heading into week 1 here. You know, whether it's North down at Canton South, Firestone going to Kent Roosevelt, East down at Jackson, Buchtel to Mayfield, Ellet hosts Green, and Kenmore-Garfield at Springfield. I hope I got that all right. But we're rooting for you guys. August 20th is going to be here very soon. And certainly when week 6 comes around and we start playing each other, it's going to be a battle for the City Series championship. And as many of the coaches said, you'll give the best out there every time you play each other. And in the meantime, root for each other, non-league, pull for the city. I want to thank AEA again for putting this together. Let's give them a big hand. We greatly appreciate your generosity. And please, as you guys leave, a lot of cookies are available there, and candy and you know, beverages over there on the counter. So any last words of wisdom for the good of the order? All right, fellas. Good luck and health this season. Keep working hard. Thank you.